Science Minister is here. We're not just teasing me, guys. She is here, is she? Oh, there she is. That's Michelle Donelan. Or is it?
I am.
Is it? Could it be an AI projection, Michelle?
Oh, very good, Eamon. Very good. Good morning. Glad to be speaking to you today.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, you're there today. First of all, give me the excitement of all of this before we start throwing all the negatives at you. What's there to look forward to? What's the benefit of this summit?
Yeah, well, you're quite right. The whole reason why we're doing this is for the transformational benefits that AI can present. But with those humongous benefits come risks. And whilst there is a debate over when those risks could actually materialise and how much they could materialise, we think it's the responsible thing as a government to try and grip them, but not just domestically, internationally. So what we're doing here is actually a landmark summit. For the first time ever, we have convened countries across the globe, companies that are working in this space, producing that cutting-edge AI, and also academics, scientists, experts from all over the world to have a conversation and work out, okay, what are the risks? How can we work together in a long-term process so that we can really tackle this and get the benefits for humanity, not just here in the UK, but across the globe?
So, I mean, it seems to me, we've heard Elon Musk is in the papers this morning saying AI is more dangerous than the nuclear bomb. We've heard from the King being beamed in from Kenya that, we really need to work together. There's lots of warnings. I want to know what the Bletchley Accord, what the solutions are going to be. What are your suggestions? How are you going to make sure that humanity is protected in all of this?
Yeah, so we've been investing more than any other country in the world when it comes to AI safety. And we convened an expert task force with some of the best minds on AI from across the globe and really have been focusing on the risks in relation to the research of it, because there is big debates on this. But we thought that actually what we need to do is work collaboratively with the rest of the world. I compare it to climate change. If we just do our own work in a silo, it won't have the same impact.
Well, we're not doing a great job, are we, globally? Sorry to interrupt, as we have limited time. I just don't really feel very heartened by the solutions. If we compare it to how we tackle climate change, everybody's still doing their own thing. There isn't consensus on the right thing to do. How are we going to convince countries to work together, and how are we going to regulate something on a global scale? And what will be in the Bletchley Accord?
Well, we've already published the Bletchley Declaration. That came out before the summit even started and showed an agreement for the first time by 28 nations around the world. And I've spoken to many of my counterparts from the likes of Kenya to Australia to Canada to China. And there is an appreciation that we do need to work together on these risks. And there is a lack of understanding of the risk. So one of the things that will come out of the summit is the formation of a panel. And that panel will be producing a regular state of science report around the research on this, so our research can keep track. The other thing that we've already announced is that our task force, the one that I spoke about a moment ago, will become an institute, the world's first ever institute in this area. And they will actually be evaluating those models. So the government will be doing those third-party evaluations, utilising expertise, and it will work with a similar just announced that they are going to set up yesterday. Another thing that we've been doing is injecting more transparency and getting the companies to do more themselves. So we're seeing considerable progress from what is really a landmark summit, the first of its kind that we as the UK have convened here at Bletchley Park.
I admire the intentions. I admire the idealism for all of that, Secretary of State. But it's about power, it's about influence, it's about wealth. Whoever controls AI will control all of those things. So let's take a war situation. Let's take Russia and Ukraine. There is a scenario where that could be plotted, planned, fought out by AI in years to come. What's going on between Israel and Gaza could be exactly the same. And whoever has the upper hand with AI rules the world.
Yeah, so I don't want you to think, Eamon, that in this country we're not regulating AI. That's far from it. In fact, we have several regulators across the board. And what we did here was we published a white paper earlier in the year which set out the principles we want our regulators to work to, and we're going to come back to that white paper later this year. But what we're saying is it's not enough just to take a domestic approach. We need to take an international one as well. That's why we need to work closely with countries from all over the world, including, in fact, China, who we've invited to this summit, which speaks volumes for the fact that we get it as a nation. We're on the front foot. Just last week, we were the first country in the world to publish a document summarising the risks from the perspective of both scientists and our national security team. So we're being transparent and open with the public, but we're also tackling this in a proactive fashion.
Since we're talking about Israel and Gaza a little bit there, I have to ask you about the news that has to be welcomed about the first Britons being freed through the Rafah crossing. The Foreign Secretary saying he will not rest now until all of the Brits are recovered. But we're not clear yet on a number, are we, of how many Brits need to be recovered? And can you give us assurances that more will be coming out today?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that my heart goes out to everybody that's impacted, the Israeli people and also the Palestinians who themselves have been held hostage to Hamas. And it is awful what they're going through. And my heart goes out to the families up and down the UK that are waiting on loved ones to return. You're quite right. The Foreign Office have said that some people have managed to get over that border, and we are anticipating that there will be more coming. We haven't spoken out with an exact number as of yet, but I know that the Border Force stand ready and that our teams on the ground have been in touch with many individuals, and there is a list of people that are British nationals. 200, I believe, is the figure that I have, and our focus is on getting them out as quickly as we possibly can.
Secretary of State, we appreciate your time today. We hope you have a good conference and that lots of good things develop from it. Thank you for your time, and we have to say goodbye to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Same to you.